Welcome back. This is part 2 of our rundown on Operation Clear Sky. It's been a little while since part 1, so let me bring you guys up to speed.
All right. Hey, Sarge, real quick though. You ever heard of fucking iron deposits affecting Cameron?
Hey, I'm fucking talking. Hey, so we're looking for a friend here. Captain Ellis, is that his name?
You already blew his cover.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't read the op order.
Great. Now all of China knows we're here.
Chris finds a destroyed laptop and mostly burnt notebook, with a number of empty liquor bottles.
In a pocket.
Caligari. Death awakens the sleeper.
Oh goodness.
This is gonna affect the trout population.
I asked, is he familiar with what's his nuts at all?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna come over the radio and be like, hey, there's probably like we're probably gonna die here.
Before we get started, we have a correction to the previous. Andre is actually spelled Andre. Minor differences, but hey, it matters. Anyway, let's get on to part 2. The team is at Kharkova, the village Ellis visited the most. Chase, Kermie, Jimathan, and Vasil are inside meeting with Kharkova's leader, while the remainder of the team remains posted up outside. Andre notes that the lack of younger men has been odd since recruitment from the province has been limited. Inside, and after being called out by Vasil, the leader of the village relents and admits Caligari is real, and that's where the younger men have gone. The local militia force recruits from the village to safeguard Caligari. Not to defend it, but contain it.
That there's been an indigenous militia that's been stealing people. Is that correct?
Where is Mr. Ellis?
He says Ellis was heading to Caligari in an attempt to bring their sons home. While this conversation goes on inside, Chris is outside attempting to barter for a goat.
Yeah.
He looks around for a really small goat and tries to barter, but he doesn't speak the language.
I took the goat. We have a goat. Because the elder said, with blood, the fucking thing shows. So I was thinking, we can kill the goat, sacrifice it for some blood. And,
Actually, Chris, that's actually a remarkably well thought out plan.
The team is now faced with the dilemma of time. Caligari rests deep within the mountain range to the north. While it can be passed by vehicle, the trip will take nearly a day of travel. Additionally, the team currently does not have adequate supplies or equipment for a night in the mountains. The mountain range earned its name for a reason. The team may return to the training base for supplies, however this may delay their arrival by several hours. With each hour that goes by, the chances of Ellis being killed or captured increases. The team decides to depart immediately and travel throughout the night. This does not sit well with Vasil and Andre, who feel they're getting more than they bargained for. Also, remember the whole Russian BTG? They may still be lurking in the mountains. Maybe the light trucks weren't such a good idea.
It's the deal. They had a 2 for $4 monster deal, so I pass him a peach monster and tell him to fucking buckle up.
Pat finally convinces them.
I lean down and I tell him that if he doesn't drive, he can stay here.
All right, before I depart from the elder, I hand him $500 cash and apologize for anything that my teammates have
do not
destroyed.
intimidate.
You don't know that we've been super professional.
I don't know. I'm metagaming right now. And then we depart towards Caligari.
After a few hours, one of the trucks begins to struggle while climbing a hill. It seems to have a mechanical issue with the engine. The team halts and Chris takes a look at it. Over the course of 2 hours, and with the help of the Ukrainian mechanics, Chris is able to pull the vehicle apart, only to discover it's in perfect working order. Chris immediately points blame on Andre, as he was driving the vehicle.
I asked the driver, the native Ukrainian, if he was fucking with us and just going slower than he could have been.
Andre shoots back angrily that he never wanted to be out here in the first place. How would getting them stuck help his situation?
Because he might be trying to lead us into something, into an ambush.
Andre replies, quote, "You know I'm in the car too, you fucking idiot." End quote.
I was waiting for it.
I never said I was smart.
At this point, the sun's gone down and the cold has set in. With the truck still marginally operational, the team decides to press on through the night, using their nods to navigate, albeit at an even slower rate. As dawn finally breaks, the team is exhausted and cold. Chris does a navigation check, only to discover the compass they've been following now points north, at the rising sun. He checks his watch and sees it reads 3 p.m. Mentioning this to the team, they all realize all of their watches are wildly off, and all their navigation devices are not registering any GPS satellites.
Does anybody have any pound cake? Or crayons?
I come down
I
out
don't
of
know
the
how to
turret.
answer that because it's now fucking 3 p.m.
Yeah, I come out of the turret and I ask you for one of those peach monsters.
Andre actually drank them all. That man's a crack addict. They're like Pichos.
Using the rising sun to navigate, Chris determines a rough route forward and continues. After another hour of driving, Pat spots a silhouette of something man-made in the distance. Small building? A vehicle? It's a T-72.
Wow.
I key out and I scream, holy fuck, there's a T-72 in front of us. Bank left. I don't know what's left, by the way. I hope that's not
I'm
Cliff.
gonna bank left.
It's a T-72 main battle tank, Russian markings. It looks like the team stumbled upon the remnants of the Lost Battalion Tactical Group. Judging by the angle of the tank and the fact that they're still alive, it's likely the armor has not noticed them. They devise a plan.
We're going to empty the vehicles and we're going to go over the mountain and around them. They're only on the roads. Armor can't work in the mountains or in through the forest. French found that out. Cringe moment.
Well, Chris, can you carry a 50 with you?
I can. I could probably carry two.
Me and Chris together could carry a 50.
I agree with Pat's assessment of dismounting and finding a way around.
The team summits the ridgeline overlooking the column.
We are titans of men. That's ridiculous. And women, sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Shout out.
Seeing 6 tanks and several IFVs, along with several trucks, the team comes up with improvised ways to disable the armor.
Let me sneak up there and put a sticky bomb on there, like in
Then- Okay, but here's the deal. If we do that, then they
Well-
know we're there, and then cool, we took out one tank, but there's still a whole nother battalion, which implies there's at least 15 more tanks.
Yeah, and there's
Okay, well, then we fucked those
probably
up, too.
there's probably some infantry with that tank.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
but did you bring any explosives?
I have a frag.
Bombs.
A grenade.
I have pipe bombs. How about Jimmy opens a latch, throws a pipe bomb, and we take the tank?
No.
Ooh.
I mean that's he might have the stealth for it.
Yeah,
And if
that's
that
fine.
doesn't work, that M67 will roll down that barrel and fucking blow up that tank.
Chris and Pat sneak down the hill to get a closer look.
Before Chris goes down there, I elbow him in the ribs and say, "Old men and bicycles, huh?"
Only to discover the vehicles seem to be destroyed. Craters, impact marks, and dead infantry scattered about suggest they were ambushed. The team secures the area and searches around to find 3 RPG-27s and a dozen field rations. Kermie notices something off about the bodies. They're in an advanced state of decay, suggesting that they've been there for years, but that's impossible. The war's only been going on for a few months. Something else she notices is there's no signs of scavenging by animals. The bodies are relatively untouched. Andre suggests that maybe they always looked like that.
Yeah, I didn't roll for humor, so
Chris determines with a bit of luck and elbow grease that he and the mechanics might actually be able to scrap together enough parts to get one of these T-72s functioning again. 4-3 Blue plus 2 spend the rest of that morning and into the evening resting up and fixing the tank.
I still say we should probably sleep.
I'm good with it if everyone else is.
Yeah.
At daybreak, the T-72 roars to life as the team sets off with the GMV in trail.
We'll have a T-72 in the front, fully crewed, and then we have one buggy with a 50 and two 240s behind us.
Again, hours of traveling pass, only navigating based on the position of the sun with no way of telling time. From the commander's hatch of the tank, Chase notices a faint glint in the road.
So I kick Chris in the head and tell him to stop.
Stop the tank.
Using the optic on the main gun, Pat can make out the shape. It kind of looks like a weird tuna can.
I was gonna say I don't know what the fuck it's a weird or a normal tuna can in Ukraine. My baseline is nothing.
The forbidden tuna can.
Are there gorillas with
Gorillas?
these landmines?
Gorillas can be killed by landmines placed on forest paths. Jimmy dismounts to see what's going on. They have a quick huddle to determine a way forward.
You want me to shoot it?
There's probably
No.
more.
Do not shoot it.
Shoot
I
it.
kick Chris in the head again to silence him.
Guys, there's probably more mines. We probably want to stop moving forward towards it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we have stopped. We're now debating what to do.
I have a 50%, and I also think we should shoot it.
What are we shooting it with?
Heat.
Oh,
coax?
well, that's gonna
We
alert
should
everyone.
probably just do the coax.
Oh, you think the mine going off won't alert anyone? How far do you think you could throw this M67
I have-
fragmentation grenade? All right, look, hey, Jimmy brought up a good point where we could just throw a hand grenade at it.
Yeah, let's throw a hand grenade. He knows the most anyways.
Choosing to detonate the mine in place with a hand grenade, Chris dismounts.
Yeah, throw it behind the tank. That way we get cover.
I'm glad you said that because I was thoroughly going to throw it in front of the tank.
I know you were.
Incredibly, he hits the mine spot on with the hand grenade. A sympathetic detonation takes out the mine. Debris scatters onto the tank and on the mountainside around them. A sharp crack is heard above Chris's head, followed by another and another. Chris racks his brain, attempting to piece together the situation.
It's a shot, you dumb.
Oh fuck, he says, ducking behind the tank as rounds clatter against it. Chase swings his roof-mounted Dishka to the source of the gunfire to see 12 men advancing down the hillside. A hasty burst suppresses the first group to the left as Pat traverses the main gun of the T-72 on target. The crew of the GMV join the fight, and Jimmy earns his nickname as a sustained burst from his M250 cal send the remainder of the contacts diving for cover. Andre and Vasil dismount and take up positions on the far side of the road as Kermie engages one of the groups, killing one. More of the fighters rush down the hill. This time, Chase sees one of the fighters lift a tube to his shoulder. He tries to engage but can't get around on target. As the unknown fighter prepares to take a shot at the tank, the mountain erupts, sending rock and debris tumbling down. Pat found his target. He begins loading another round of 125mm high explosive. The fighters now focus on the unarmored GMV buggy. As Jimmy suppresses the second group of fighters, Kermie and Andre catch a third group in the open as they attempt to flank, taking out all three of them. Chris bounds to the GMV and has Vasil shift his fire into the last group approaching the vehicle from the rear. While under suppression from Jimmy and Andre, the second group makes a desperate attempt to disable the tank. Seems to be an anti-tank guided missile at close range. They narrowly miss, and it's too late for them as another 125mm round from the T-72 eliminates two of them, sending the remaining fighters into a retreat. Knowing a retreat means another possible ambush, the team engages the fighters as they flee up the hill. None are able to escape. Kermie, Chris, and the two Ukrainian soldiers move up the hill to search the bodies. Here they make a ghastly discovery, that these are the young men from Kharkova. They find some letters and journals on the bodies. Clear they had little choice. Fight or die, either way. Sorry to end on a dark note, but that's where we'll have to end the briefing. I want to give a shout out to the Delta Green RPG community. You guys gave me a lot of good feedback on the first video. In the future, I definitely want to avoid global events in our sessions, but I want to mention the original Caligari took place in Afghanistan and was released in 2017 during the war. Again, we don't want to double down, but just explaining our reasoning. As always, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and have a good one.